Coming up, we're looking at everything that just happened this past year at Universal Orlando, as well as what we have to look forward to next year. Live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Universal edition of the Diz Unplugged. This is episode 68 of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition. The Diz Unplugged Universal Edition is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Let the experts at Dreams Unlimited Travel help you plan the perfect vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, welcome to the final show of 2015?
Yep, that would be
2015.
The year we are in.
Yes, the final show of 2015 for the Universal Edition.
The final countdown.
Other shows have already had their final shows on the Diz Unplugged network.
We're the last one to wrap it up.
We are the last of the official shows to be wrapping up. One more thing to come tomorrow night, I believe, if that's still going to happen. But yes, ours is the final one. So I'm glad that we can be the ones to take this all out with a bang.
Who are we, by the way?
I don't want to cut off you. Yeah, until you introduce everybody.
Because you did not introduce yourself.
No, I did not. We have a great show coming up. Yeah, as I said already, we are going to look at our the past year of our experiences at Universal Orlando. A lot of stuff's happened this year. A lot of crazy things. I mean, we've just completely seen amazing things. I guess not too amazing, but we've watched a lot of stuff go in order for amazing things to come, and that's just special. And we had a lot of fun doing it along the way.
Hold on one second. My OCD is kicking in. This is our host, Craig Williams.
Yeah, I was like, I can't cut.
Oh, sorry,
I don't want to cut off you until you introduce everybody. But that's gone out the window.
Back in the nook, we have our producer,
Hey.
Ryan Clavin.
Rhino
Clavin. I
Gregory Williams.
am Craig Williams. I am your host of this show.
Gregory Elizabeth Williams.
Joining me in the past year for a lot of crazy excitement, of course, was Jenny Lynn Knopp.
Hey, everybody.
My side, and then back in the production nook, probably going to screw something up at some point today.
Yeah, already. I don't know.
We'll see what happens. Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
So, guys, wow, it's been a year.
We've been together a year, guys. That's just.
I was going to sing Last Christmas. That's what I was. I was like, there's a lyric in here.
It's like
been a year now.
Christmas, I didn't have a job yet.
And now a year later, I'm finally employed. Those are the lyrics, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's the remake.
It is.
I think that's the Taylor Swift cover version
It's
of the
a great
Wham.
cover.
It might be. No, my goodness, it's been a crazy ride though. Yeah, of course we went through the retolling and came back January 1st. Well, not January 1st
By
today. That's Rhino's birthday.
retolling, you mean retooling?
That is my birthday.
Did I not say retooling?
I thought you said retolling, but I just
Retooling?
maybe I have bad hearing.
I thought I said retooling.
Okay.
Okay.
Tool house.
I might have said tool house.
I thought you said
Tool
toll.
house.
I don't know.
Well, who knows? But yeah, we went through our obvious changes, and we've been putting together quite a bit of episodes. I mean, we went all the way from 21, and we're at 68 now. One shy of 69, which was sad because
Darn.
That's going to be I love that we're going into the new year with that episode, so I'm super psyched for our very special 69th episode.
I know. And we're not talking about that in a bad way.
It's because it's the 6 and the 9, or like it's just one of those things. It's like a circle. They make a yin and a yang. It should be some sort of like the light side and the dark side.
That's right, yin and yang. I don't know where Zen came from.
We are definitely though. We're going to have a little bit of a fun start. I think for anyone who knows that number, they can know what to expect.
It's the sign for Cancer. So all you July babies, brace yourself.
Yeah.
The things I want to say,
I'm regretting my
but I'm not saying.
hand motions too.
Fantastic.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, remember, the people who are listening can't see that, so it doesn't matter anyways. Oh, no. So, yeah, we're going to start the year off with a big bang. I guess on that, I should say a little bit of a note in regards to that. we decided after we already aired the show last week that was not our Diagon Alley 201 episode. That we're calling that a refresher because obviously with the great discussion that we had on Skyplex before, we didn't get nearly as in depth on the details that we wanted to.
It didn't get the time that it was due.
Exactly. So that probably won't be our first show that we kick off the new year with, but we definitely are going to rediscover that in a 201 format. And as I said on that show, I believe pretty much every land in Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios next year, we'll try to cover it in a 201 format, so that way anyone coming to the parks can really get involved and
good stuff.
They want to ingest those details. We're all about ingesting here.
I have a fun thing for the end of the episode, but I probably have to be reminded.
Rhino, we're not at the end of the episode yet.
Well, I've got some housekeeping. It's like a post-show housekeeping is the second half of my housekeeping. But whenever you get there, sir, I got one hand.
It will get there in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit less than that. Not quite sure. Before we get too far into this, and before we actually start talking about the important stuff that people care to hear, well, actually, I don't know if anyone cares to hear this one in general, but I do want to say thank you to everyone who did come out to Disapalooza. I know it was a Dis Unplugged event as a whole, but the fact that it took place at Universal, the parks that we obviously take the time to go to and do a whole show about them. It means a lot that so many people came out and had so many great things to say. And I think the number one thing that I heard from people coming were that they all tried to take our recommendations on restaurants, and it worked out for the most part.
Yeah.
That makes you feel good.
Yeah. I was going to say a little shout out to my friend Savannah that I met that night, who we did some magic in the. We were in that receiving line till like 11:30, so I did absolutely nothing at that party except for I was able to go with Savannah and do some magic around the thing because I had one of those new wands, interactive wands, and I didn't get to use it yet. So that was I'm glad we got to hang out for like the 10 to 15 minutes we did, but. So if her and her family are listening, it was very nice meeting you. But and then also I want to give a lot of props to the team members or the witches or whatever you call it, wizards and people that were working that night, because I thought I was having a conversation with three of them specifically before the evening started. It was Eric, Michael, and I can't remember the third person's name, but they were like in character the entire time.
It was a fantastic group.
Super, super friendly to everybody. Like, I just saw them interacting with everybody all night long. And so I just want to give some props up to those people, because I just think the level of service with team members at Universal is just every day I've gone in the last like week and a half I've just seen amazing character interactions and like team member interactions. So it's really impressive. It's much better than Disney is I'm going to say that. Like, I have had much better experiences at Universal in this last even year than I've had with cast members. So
yeah. I think of a lot of that at Universal, and we've touched on it before, especially in terms of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, is that the team members there have so much to work with, because a lot of them are already huge Harry Potter fans to begin with. That's why they wanted to work in that environment right away. But then for people who maybe were just placed there or transferred in, they do have to go through Harry Potter classes that, it's not super intensive. I can't remember how long it was, maybe about 8 hours, but where you just go over everything in the world of Harry Potter, so that way you can at least go in with that basic knowledge to be able to theme and interact with any guests. And that's the one sad part about Disney, that I think Star Wars is going to change a lot of that, is that there is so much in terms of lore to go along with it that you can really theme and engage with the crowds coming in. I know Universal suffers with that problem throughout other areas of the park, especially a place like Woody Woodpecker's Kid Zone.
Sure.
There's just no way to really theme in that kind of environment. A place like Transformers, you can be a little bit of an a-hole because you're
soldier,
working at
yeah.
a military base, a secret one. You're working at Nest, and
Secrets.
so yeah, there's definitely high points and low points as it comes into it, and I think Disney finally saw that and they're going to try to latch onto it in the future with everything they do. But in terms of theming, hands down, and not even just talking about the theming of the actual construction and design, just in general, how the team members interact with you in that area whenever they're on their game. Obviously, some of them.
When they're on their game, it turns it into like an entirely like almost an experience in itself. Like I would challenge people to go and maybe have some fun with that because it was some of the stuff was like I was like, oh, here's Celestina is performing later, and we were talking about what our favorite Celestina song is, and I was like, this is really funny. These guys like have it down, and and part of that is I'm sure they've worked there for a while and everything like that. But I don't know. It really made it makes it that extra special like touch on the end. So.
It absolutely does.
I discovered the wonder of the fuzzy lemonade drink.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that drink.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I thought it all, began and ended with butterbeer, but
No.
fuzzy lemonade definitely has its spot in the world of fantastic drinks in Diagon Alley.
I like the otter, the orange juice
The
otter.
orange juice one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one's not bad. I ordered it whenever we did our Diagon Alley review, the fishy green ale. It always just, it takes a while to get over that. I love boba bubbles.
I do too, but I can't. I have to.
It's the drink itself that
You
leaves
look
that
at
weird
it and
taste.
it just, yeah.
Yeah.
It should be frozen. It's just a weird. I don't. Whatever. Here, neither here nor there.
I know. Yeah. So no, props to it. Everyone who didn't get to come out to that event, we're sorry that you didn't get to be there, but maybe in the future again. I think Pete and John and everyone else seem to love it a lot. So who knows what will happen in the future? We don't. We're not important enough. In other terms of stuff that I wanted to talk about right away, going along with Disapalooza, something that I broke sad news a while back, that the tuna noodle casserole is no longer being served at Cabana Bay.
Are you going to be all right?
I've known for like 2 or 3 months now.
So you've
Reported on it.
you've worked through the grieving process at this point.
No, there's
he's
an
bought
update.
a lot of stuff and put it in Tupperwares and freeze.
There's an update. Apparently, if you go there and you ask the chefs to cook it for you, they will make it for you.
Ha.
Oh.
Which
Because I still haven't had it.
that blows my mind. And I do apologize. One of our attendees at Disapalooza told me that they were so excited to get there and have the tuna noodle casserole, and then they found out that it wasn't there, that they were kind of bummed out after I'd been talking about it so much. So they literally just asked the chef, and the chef's like, yeah, we can make it. So I don't know how long it took. I would assume a while, because you got to cook the noodles and mix it all together and bake it and all that
But
stuff.
imagine how good it is, so fresh.
I mean, yeah, what if you say, like, I'm going to come with 3 people. Can you make us 1 batch of tuna noodle casserole and we will just have it all? Like, could that work? That would be grand.
We should try that
I bet we can make it happen.
for the 69th noodle casserole
Is that going to be our
episode.
holiday meal for 2015?
Let's be fair. I just want it by myself. I don't need friends there for it.
He has no intention of sharing.
I have zero intention of sharing any tuna noodle casserole with anyone. That's just who I am. Tuda. Tuda. Add it to the Craigtionary. Oh, one of the amazing things of this past year. The Craigtionary. All the times that I've made mistakes in my speech, whether it's exact you or...
I'm going to push for that publication. That's going to be one of my New Year's resolutions.
It will be purchased by a whopping 3 people.
It will.
Yeah.
It'll be more of a pamphlet than a...
Any word as to why they removed the tuna noodle casserole from the menu?
No idea.
Is it possibly because it tastes like every tuna noodle
No,
casserole?
it doesn't. Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
Just wanted to put it out there.
Shut up. Don't even joke about that. It doesn't. So before, no, that was all the before. Now the after in this, I want to get into everything that we kind of covered this year. Just a way for us to reminisce for people who haven't gone back and listened to everything and watched everything. This isn't a best of show, anything like that. We're just going to kind of discuss some of the stuff we experienced this year, some of the the highlights in terms of why that's getting us even more excited for next year whenever it comes around. But I want to start the end of this show. Well, this show, I want to start this whole segment by talking about one of the first things we talked about last year. God, that took me a while to get out that one sentence.
It's all right, we're here for
but
you.
that's our New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, Rhino's was to ride an outdoor roller coaster at Universal, and he completed that whenever I drug him onto Dragon Challenge.
After a very strong hogshead tea.
Yes. JL's was to watch all of the Harry Potter movies in order to know anything about Harry Potter.
Yes, and I completed half of that before the Harry Potter celebration and half of that shortly after.
Yes. And mine was to actually go and do a day in the park with Barney.
And Craig, did you complete your resolution for 2015?
Well, that's the problem. Technically, I failed in that I did not get to see a day in the park with Barney. However, I did get to see the holiday version of that, a day in the park with Barney Holidays or something. I can't remember the exact name, and I didn't think of writing it down before we started, of course. A Barney Holiday Christmas is what it's called.
Apparently made a huge impact on your
Was BJ
life.
there?
Oh,
BJ?
oh, BJ was there.
BJ's my favorite one. He's got the baseball hat.
Baby Bop was there.
I was like trying to remember her name.
Baby Bop, BJ Bop was there. Barney was there.
Is BJ's last name Bop?
Yeah.
He's her brother, right?
Yeah, they're brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel like I've heard.
I know that because I had to listen to him call her sissy.
Oh no.
Was it pure torture, or was there any aspect of this that you found something positive?
Should have given me your photo.
No,
We
That's on Twitter.
have photographic evidence of this?
Yeah, there's one photo of me. Technically, it's not photographic evidence of me sitting in the actual theater. It's of the pre-show area where you get to meet the clown man who is the host of this thing. Yeah,
I'm sorry. What?
This is just
Okay.
It starts off bad. It starts off with a clown.
It's not. I'm only saying he's a clown. He's not. It's this guy who's, he's probably in his 30s, but he's wearing like a big, like, I was standing kind of far back, so I didn't get to see him up close, but he was wearing this like big bushy white mustache and acting like a stereotype. I don't know what type of stereotype, but kids, we're gonna have such a
vaudeville
good time.
babysitter?
What door should we lock in before we can go in and see the Barney show? Should we look in this door? No, this isn't the door. Should we go in this door? No. And it was just it was excruciating for
I'm
the pre-show.
getting uncomfortable just listening to it.
So then you go into the actual, it's a round theater, but then it's like this weird kind of like triangle stage. So picture like a peace sign, and the lines to make the peace sign, those are like, that's how the stage is set up, kind of in that way. Like it's in a thirds of pie, and so then they're just running up and down, and in the holiday version, they sing like 3 Christmas songs. And, the worst part about this at the same time is that they have this awful background music track. So that way, like, it sounds like everyone in the room is singing and clapping along.
My God. You're looking
whenever
around and you're like...
When you're in the room with only 30 other people, you know that they're the ones singing. So it was just so awkward the entire time. And I'm going to put up like a highlights video of only the Christmas portions, because that's what the first thing I thought on the show was that it would be a full Christmas show. But it's not. Because they have all these props and they need to make the show longer, then they start incorporating stuff from, I guess, the regular show. And there's this weird barnyard section that at that point, I completely zoned out. And I said it before the show started. I would have felt so uncomfortable had I just been in there watching the show. The fact that I had a camera, it at least made it look like I was some strange tourist who wanted to capture every bit of a memory. That made it okay. If I would have just been there watching, You know, I would have ended up on like a sex offenders list or something. I have, oh my gosh. So they go into the weird section, and then they wrap it up with a little "I love you" Barney classic ending, and goes back into a Christmas, and it like fake snows in there for 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, it was.
Well, maybe when we go into 2016, you should be a little bit nicer to yourself and pick a better resolution that won't seem like some cruel form of torture.
Well, in general, I should have done Barney before. If I'm going to tout myself as having any knowledge of Universal at all, I should at least do every attraction once. But that was something that I just, you know, it's in Kid Zone. It's meant for children. I don't even know if this thing was enjoyable for children. Does he exist anymore?
In our hearts.
And maybe in your heart, not in mine.
Yeah, I don't think he exists anymore. I don't see him on PBS whenever I'm flipping channels. I don't know if he's like on Netflix and stuff, so he's still kind of accessible.
I'm gonna look it up.
I have no idea, but even the kids in the crowd didn't look like they were having a good time. I mean, some of them were like singing and clapping. About the most glaring showing that anyone cared was there was a foreign family whose kids like tried to rush the stage and had to get told by the 80-year-old lady working in there to back up, and it was just all.
It ended on September 18th, 2009, and reruns of the series no longer air on PBS Kids, but from 2005 until 2015, reruns aired on Sprout. And a revival of the series is set for a 2017 launch.
Oh, good. So if that's actually successful,
not going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, we're never getting rid of Barney. We have to get rid of Barney. I am taking you guys to it, so that way you can suffer through it like I did.
Misery loves company.
It kind of just like squashed my day, because before that I went and did a Blues Brothers Christmas show, and I had never watched their Christmas show before. I've heard it as I was walking around the park, but I never really like planned it, and I watched it on YouTube. It was so good, and it was almost, I want to say the show lasted about 20 minutes, almost 25, and you know, of course they were flawless as always, and the show was just so much fun, but it just, like, I was coming off this big Christmas high with that, and so excited. Like, the funniest part of that show is whenever they're doing Blue Christmas, they get this tree that's like a flipped over trash can almost, and they have nothing to decorate it, so they'd start decorating it with packs of Marlboro Reds and toilet paper, and it's just so funny right in there, and I love that. And then Barney came right after and just squashed all my hopes and dreams. But with that, I did semi-complete my New Year's resolution, so we all have a couple weeks to decide what our resolutions are going to be next year.
Yes.
So I think we need to take the time to actually think about.
I've never done the animal show.
Animal actors.
Yeah. I'm not, but it doesn't have to be something that's like you've never done it before. It could be like challenging yourself to be like, I don't know.
I'm going to eat a Scotch egg a month.
In one day, I'm going to go on every single ride in both parks. Well, that's probably impossible, but it could be something adventurous like that, and then we could, have a fun little, I don't know, something, video or something out of it.
Yeah, we could.
I'm actually going to repeat. I mean, this won't be my resolution, but resolution or not, I'm going to repeat it and watch all the Harry Potter movies again in January.
You can't do that. That's cheating.
Yes, I can.
It's got to be a new thing.
No, I just said it's not going to, I will still have another resolution, but I am going to do my resolution from this year over again.
Yep. Open your ears.
To get myself all psyched up for Harry Potter celebration again, coming at the end of January.
I guess that's a good segue into talking about...
Darn it.
What? You were waiting for something else?
No, you were
Okay.
segueing right into the resolution thing I was going to talk about, but you slipped out of it because you were going into the Harry Potter business.
Segue it up.
I was just going to suggest to our listeners, this isn't necessarily a universal thing, but this is something I like to do every year because I used to work with this woman, Trish, who's a wonderful woman, and she was like, every year in their family, they think of one word. And they work, that's the word for the year, and they work on that one thing. And so I think about that a lot.
I feel like we're in Pee-wee's Playhouse right now, where you say the word and everybody goes, "Rah!"
Well, nobody did that for me, but like, so, I'd be curious, like, if people out there who listen to this, like, if they thought and, meditated on this for a little bit, what their word would be. It could be like, it's a word like adventure, and maybe part of their adventure is that they're going to take a new trip or try something new or like come to Universal or something like that, so, I'd just be curious to see what everybody came up with if they had something
We
like
could
that.
collect all their words and use them for our tags at the end of our shows.
Well,
Adventure is universal.
Something like that. I think my word's going to be independence this year. It was strength before, and I worked on getting fit and working out and becoming more like, it was a work situation when I worked somewhere else. And it worked out. It's a good word, like, it's something nice to keep with you. Just a little thing to keep with you, but that's why I was going to save it to the end of the episode. It doesn't really make sense in the middle, so I kind of ruined it. Sorry.
Ruined that and ruined the segue.
So, I've messed that up.
Kind of did. You really just bummed me out.
There's my thing. No,
I
it's
thought you
a
had
good
more
thing.
self-esteem than that.
I do not. That is a lot of people mistake it.
We still love you right now.
It's just right on you, Craig.
Yeah.
There you are.
Back to you, Craig.
So,
I thought you were
segueing.
going. That was my way of a segue. I'm just going to
And
force
the
the shot.
show comes to a screeching halt.
Let's segue back into this. The year. So, in terms of the show, we had a fun start to the year with our Cowfish review, one of our favorite restaurants that came right at the end of 2014, and we started digging into it many times in there. But the burst big bing, because I still don't know how to speak. I don't know why I'm tiptoeing.
Tiptoeing through the windows. Tiptoe through the windows.
Time out. Kylie pointed out to me that Tiny Tim is also the one who did a lot of those songs. Well, they used his songs in SpongeBob too. So it goes back to Universal.
That makes sense.
Oh, so we were actually never off topic. And I texted you about a TV show that recently
Yeah, The
used...
Walking Dead.
Yeah, okay. And I was like, oh,
Yes.
you've got to catch up because I wanted you to watch that one scene where it's not the Tiny Tim version of that song, but
Yeah, sometimes I just choose not to reply to you.
no.
Okay, Cowfish.
Cowfish. Well, no, Cowfish was a good time, but I think the first, not the burst, the first kind of big event that happened was at the end of January whenever we went to cover a celebration of Harry Potter. Unfortunately, Rhino was not able to attend it last year because he had prior engagements.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, at that point, we didn't know if he'd be fired by that point in time. So there was no point in letting him go to a big event like that.
Harry James Potter's.
But
We were all waiting to see how that would play out.
luckily, the announcement came a little bit ago that Harry Potter, the celebration of Harry Potter, would be returning again in 2016, as we discussed before, with Rupert Grint coming this time. And Rhino will probably be doing the lead on that this time. So, Rhino, are you excited for it?
I am, because as I told you this morning, I also realized that's the same day, same weekend I'm running the half marathon celebration. So it's going to be a marathon weekend.
Hardy har.
See what I did there?
har.
Nailed it. Boom, still got it.
Why are you the way you are?
I am super excited to be able to partake in Harry Potter weekend this year. I look forward to it, especially now that there is going to be like major actor. Not that I would not have been amazed to watch Dumbledore and Luna and all those kids, but we got the Ginge coming. It's a big deal. Big
No,
time.
it's really is turning into a wonderful
Ron
yearly
Weasley.
event that, I still have my qualms about it, that I don't think there's enough new things to entertain the same crowd that comes year after year after year, but maybe that means my Harry Potter fandom's dying down a little bit.
I wouldn't go that far. It just might mean that you've reached a certain level of expertise already.
I think the problem
There's a new Harry Potter movie coming out next year. You had better turn that attitude around.
That's where my issue is. I think now I need to go back and read the books again. I'm movied out in terms of them. I am.
That's good. Then you can loan me your movies once again.
Yeah, and I can wait 3 months to get them back. It was only like a month.
I did give them back, though.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you just gasp, Rhino. I don't understand why there's an issue with that. The movies, they're all good, but you can
It all
only
started
watch
with
them
a
so
book.
many times.
A million, and I doubt you've watched them a million.
No, but I've only read the books once each, so it's time to.
Have you ever done the audiobooks?
No.
I listened to the British audiobooks. Those are fun. Little different, like flavored coffee.
Yeah, I don't. Something about audiobooks to me. I know people use them when they're driving in cars and stuff, and helps.
Yeah, it's commitment.
Helped with the commute, but for me, that's whenever I listen to my podcast, and I just feel lazy at that point. It's like I need you to read to me.
Do it when you work out.
Good times.
Still got it.
So yeah, Rhino and JL will hopefully be coming back with a lot of great coverage from 2016's celebration of Harry Potter.
I have to brush up on my wand dueling skills.
Exactly.
I have to make a T-shirt.
What's that?
I said I'll have to make a T-shirt. I like to make T-shirts for events like this.
Are we going to match? Are you going to make me a T-shirt as well?
You got it. I'll teach you how to do it, but you got to make your own T-shirt.
I see how it is.
Great. Good. Crafting with the Diz team.
Yeah, we'll make a little video out of it. Maybe we'll do a T-shirt making party.
I will not be a part of that. Thank you very much.
Nope, you do not like fun things.
Yeah. So throwing in this awkwardly in here, did we ever explain that Julie was no longer going to be on the show after a certain amount of time?
I do not think that was ever formally addressed.
Well, way to bring up that. I've been sitting on that elephant in this room.
Well, I mean, I'm going
9 months.
The year in review, I'm kind of going in the order of how things went with it. So yeah, Julie, obviously she was with us from the start every other week for some of the 101 episodes, and a lot of great input by her. Unfortunately, after it looked great on paper with schedules and stuff, but then it just got down to it where she didn't have the time to devote to it because of, well, everything she has to deal with, which is mainly putting up with Corey. But
it's a full-time job.
That is a full-time job. Yeah. I mean, kids, yeah, but
life happens.
More Corey than anything else.
Life finds a way.
Oh,
well, I guess not in this point. Never mind.
Yeah. No, not
sorry, Julie.
Not in this one at all. But yeah, in terms of brighter things, though, no, those were some of our best episodes. So if you haven't gone back and listened to our 101s that we did this year, I highly recommend it, especially because it's going to help set you up better next year whenever we do the 201s. I want to move on to something, though, that we hold near and dear to our heart, something we already mentioned with Cowfish, but dining in general. So we had a lot of good dining experience this year. Not enough, I think we kind of put together at the end of the day. We had this bold vision before we started that we are going to do a restaurant review every single week.
Somebody was on something if that was the thought.
I thought you said a month. I thought you said I remember you gave me a schedule once and you were like, this will be the pattern. It'll be a 101 on these weeks. It'll be this on this week. And then we'll do like a dining review. Remember?
Sorry. Every week that we did a Buzz episode. So whenever we started out the Buzz episode, after that would be a dining review. And that quickly got squashed. Just because...
Life happens.
That's really difficult. But no, along that way, though, we did get to have a lot of great dining experiences this year. Cowfish, which I'll say it again because it still holds up. I just went there with my family this past week.
What'd you get?
I went with the dynamic duo for the first time. That's the burger with brisket on top. And
loving that brisket.
On par with sweet potato fries on the side. You can't do anything else.
You mean on point?
On point.
I was like on par with something.
Anything else I've ever gotten there before that I enjoyed. Thank you very much. That's how we wrap that one up. Also, along with that, we just had our Vivo show, which it's still all fresh in your mind, so we don't really need to go over that. We did leak.
But we did get a lot of positive feedback at the event this week, and a lot of people were saying that they really enjoyed the Vivo episode, and a lot of people went to Vivo while they were here. So it was kind of interesting to hear that. You know, people keep being like, "Oh, we saw the video," or "We heard you guys talk about it, and so we had to go." And I'm like, I think it was because maybe it was the most fresh in their mind too, because it was obviously like the week before. But
I think it was, but it also, I know we don't really like eating Italian out. You don't like heavy pasta. I don't like cooking I don't like going out and ordering something that I feel like I can make at home. But at the end of the day, who doesn't love a little Italian flavor? Mm-hmm. Maybe not Italian food, but Italian flavor. Every now and then, you could just nosh on a pizza.
A pizza every day of my life. I could nosh on a pizza. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Vivo's great for that way because there are a lot of options, and we did talk about how great the price was and how fresh. A little salty on the side for some things, but I'm craving it right now.
God, that pizza. It was a good pizza. A little salty, like we talked about, but good pizza.
Whenever you put prosciutto on a pizza, it's going to be salty. One thing that we have to miss. Poor old NBA City. One of our
I cry on my pillow every night. My life is not the same.
It actually isn't the same because obviously the one thing we took away from that was the freaking towering cheesecake.
Showering. We were showering down on that.
We were chowering down on the cheesecake.
We were chowering down on that
Dr.
towering
Seuss over on that table.
No, but I still can taste that cream cheese.
It haunts me in my dreams.
Just melting in my mouth. The more I think about it now, seeing that space just left there blank, I know something new and big and good is going to come in there, but
it's just a bittersweet moment when you're like, man, there was an amazing thing in that building that I had no idea. It was like, that cave where Indiana Jones finds the wooden cup.
Okay.
What? Yeah. Hello. Last
exactly
Crusade.
I believe it was not made of wood. Wasn't it clay?
No, it was made of wood because Jesus was a carpenter.
No, Joseph was a carpenter.
Whoever. One of those two guys.
Well, Jesus was also a carpenter, but I believe it was made out of clay still.
No, it was wood.
Rhino is right.
Are we sure?
The quote in the movie is he says it's wood because Jesus was a carpenter. That's what he turns to his dad and says or whatever. And he does say Jesus because it's supposed to be his
right.
cup. I always thought it was a clay cup.
Right.
Because it just looked like an old crappy cup that anyone else was versus the gold cup.
Well, I'm not doubting that the cup itself in the movie might have been not an actual wood cup, but he says it is wood.
He's right. And it was, he did say Jesus and he did say carpenter and it was wood.
Yes, the exact quote was, I do not have that.
File not found. It says here you might have connectivity problems. It's one of my favorite Parks and Recreation jokes.
Yes. Wow, that just got sidetracked there.
NBC.
Sports Grill and Brew.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a chance to go back there since that original?
I have not. I've come really close so many times and just not had enough time to make it feasible.
Yeah. Rhino?
Yeah, I went twice. I went, it was one day, like, I was filming a bunch of stuff in the park, and I was really hungry, and I was like, you know what? And a friend of mine, like, I happened to be, like, there at the same time, and I was like, you've got to try this place. And so we went, and I got the California burger that day, so I was actually eating some red meat, and it was really good. It came out on the right bun. I got my tats, and that was great. And I went after the Diz event with a bunch of listeners. You know who you are.
Yeah.
And I got the turkey burger that time. But I did also order food right before it closed, and my bun was a little hard. But the rest of the stuff we all got was real good. And you know what? I'll go again. I might even go tonight. I won't be going tonight, but I would love to go again.
Yeah, it kind of annoys me. Kylie's only been the one time whenever she got to go for a special event, and she didn't like it, and so now she doesn't want to go back. And it's really bumming me out because the next time after we went, then I went back with my sister and had my excellent meal, and I just want to go there again. I really, really like it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to switch her on that one. You can't just go without returning. It's too good.
I mean, I'm not gonna throw out the D word, but
I want those eggs that you rave about. I don't know what D word you're throwing out.
deviled
Divorce.
eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Not gonna throw out the deviled word, deviled eggs word. But no, that was also up there. Going on the egg talk, the Scotch eggs at Leaky Cauldron.
And those are good.
That was also excellent as well. And we talked about Cabana Bays, but we always talk about Cabana Bays.
Love Cabana
quick
Bay.
service. Those were the best dining reviews that we did. And so I think the important thing is that we can't repeat any of those next year. That we have to
keep moving.
probably try something new. Maybe.
I've still never been to Mythos. Maybe that will be my resolution.
I have yet to be there either.
Okay. Well,
Dining
mark that
review.
down.
We can mark, put
This
that on
is-
the calendar.
Yeah, this is everyone out there. Put it on your calendar right now. At some point in 2016, we will be talking about Mythos.
You know what else we did a lot of talking about?
Yes.
The resorts
No.
at the 7 and 7 that we
Oh
covered.
wow, I completely forgot about our Universal Land Sea shows. Some of the most fun we did. For those of you who don't remember, we each stayed at a different Universal resort. All 4 of the resorts that are there currently as the time we're recording this. Next year, of course, one of the big upcoming things is Sapphire Falls. It's opening up in the summertime, so
Where there will have a 0 entry pool.
yes,
and
where they
water
will
slides.
have.
Nobody can get into it.
They will have a 0 entry pool. But yeah, we did our land and sea, and we got to really get in depth and experience each of the actual resorts at Universal. The only one I've ever been like fully into the most was ever Cabana Bay. Been there quite a bit, and I had a little experience at Portofino, but like for me, it was the first time really getting to discover and fall in love with Royal Pacific. And I need to go back and look at it with all the Christmas decorations on and stuff.
If we do something like that again, we should switch it up so we change resorts.
That's actually a really good idea.
I was at Cabana Bay this last year, but I would love a chance to be at Royal Pacific.
And I would love the chance to go stay at Hard Rock. I feel that's one place I go through there all the time, mostly because I walk through there on my way to and from Universal. But I never have stayed in there still. So I'm very excited to stick in there too. And then we got to do our great Royal Caribbean cruise that, as you spoke about on the trip yesterday, how you got very
royally
seasick.
Okay, it was Jesus's cup, and it was the cup he drank out of at the Last Supper. And I'm looking at the photo of it. I don't think it's wood, but it was the most modest of the cup. But I don't think it's clay because it's gold on the inside. It's silver. Not silver, but it's reflective on the inside. So
It's metallic.
yeah, it might be. I'm trying to figure out what it's made out of, but that's the update
Thank
we
you
have.
for
so.
the breaking news update in there.
He doesn't know how to let things go very
I'm sure
easily.
people are going crazy. I'm sure there's one person out there who's like, what are these idiots talking about?
Well, meanwhile, JL and I are sitting here just having a conversation with us while we both know you were clearly looking it up to try to figure it out.
I heard I want to stay at Cabana Bay. I have not stayed there yet.
Oh, fantastic.
That's the one I want to stay at.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And our Enchantment of the Seas cruise, just perfect. So I can't wait till they do the ship changes, and then hopefully we'll be able to experience all of that again. And
Well, we will, because we'll be on the Oasis at the end of 2016.
exactly on Podcast Cruise 6.0, which is still taking not group reservations anymore, but there still is space available on the ship
On the ship to book.
for anyone who
Sure.
wants to join us. It's going to be a good time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will. So one of the things I completely forgot about that was an absolute highlight, and I never got to finish it out and watch all of it, but whenever Rhino and I got to go to American Ninja Warrior,
Oh, that was fun, yeah.
and that night that JL intended to come over and watch American
I
Ninja
tried
Warrior.
my best,
and
guys.
Didn't even make it out of the line.
I was in the queue, and then, somewhere around midnight, it was, I've got 3 kids at home that I probably should be with, so I had to make an exit. I was not available till 2 a.m. or whatever ungodly hour you guys were there till.
Yeah. Now, looking back on it, that might have been my highlight of anything I did in Universal for last year.
That's a big statement.
I'm sure I probably said that about something else, but I can't think of anything that was so unique as that was. Obviously there was a lot of great moments at Halloween Horror Nights this year and other events that took place, but seeing that in the entire structure build and watching how they film it, especially from, like my perspective and Rhino's perspective, really knowing how this stuff all takes place and just watching it and then getting to see the final product on TV later and put it all together and realize that I think only one person that we watched run the course actually made it onto TV. And it was just like a highlights reel of it.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing.
I was there.
But that was just so amazing. Like to like pair that up with last year, I would have said one of the coolest events besides being at the opening of Diagon Alley was right around that same time too, is whenever a little bit before when Jimmy Fallon came and recorded at Universal. And I remember going over there and just like stumbling in because I was at some other event, and then right at the end stumbled in and saw right whenever Jimmy Buffett was taking the stage to play for the show that night, and getting to watch Jimmy Buffett play a couple songs, and like just moments like that.
No, I was right.
You don't.
Oh my gosh!
God,
would you care to join that conversation?
About the wood. It's a prop. You don't know what it is.
It says wood.
Oh, okay. Call up Stevie.
Get all the presses. Get Stevie Spielberg on the phone.
Back to the conversation that's relevant. Equally amazing was the taping of Sharknado 3 at Universal Studios.
Oh, yeah.
Did any of us participate in that?
None of us participated in it, but we all watched it. We all watched that garbage.
Yeah. Well, I skimmed it. I didn't watch it. I just fast-forwarded to be like, where are they going to go so I can talk about it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Terrible.
Because you don't have cable, so you weren't able to watch it.
I watched it the next morning.
Yeah, the next morning on your pirated copy.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You're not the FBI.
Yes, I am.
Freeze, sucker.
Michael Scorn,
Michael
FBI. No, Sharknado did happen. One of the many productions that happened this year at Universal, including La Volt's Kids.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That one Brazilian movie that we spoke about at one point in time that we completely forgot.
And wrestling.
And wrestling came back, and American Ninja Warrior. And didn't something just get filmed there, too? I feel like it's big. Not the Halo Awards.
We could have stopped
at
wrestling and been good.
Oh, no, there was... we could have, but... No, there was
now
at least one other thing filmed there.
I don't know. What was your favorite Mardi Gras concert this year? Did you really get too many of them? Or?
Right, no, we went to Kelly Clarkson, right? Is that who we went to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're on the float.
She was pretty fantastic.
I didn't actually watch a single concert this year. The only one that I was there for to like stay and see any of the concert was Kelly Clarkson, and the closest Corey and I could get was to the Shrek Theater.
Yeah,
that's pretty much
where we were. We were nowhere close to the stage. I mean, we kind of had to view the stage from around a corner. It was
didn't even. We had eyes on the screen. We were standing right outside of where Lucy, a tribute, was, kind of right where the Betty Boop store connects right beside Shrek in that area. So we were at the Shrek entrance.
Yeah.
It was
the people
awful,
showed for her.
I saw Google Dolls there. That was this year, right? Google Dolls?
Yeah, that
Yes,
was for the last concert series, the 25th anniversary concert series.
Oh, I thought they were here for Mardi Gras, too. Was Lifehouse here this year, or was that last year?
Lifehouse, I want to say they were here this year.
I want to say that as well.
Well, I saw them. I just can't remember. I've seen a lot of great acts at these events over the years, so I'm very excited to see what they bring for 2016, because there's been some people where like I wouldn't think that I would have
like Pitbull?
No, I was going to say Adam Lambert, because I wouldn't have thought I would have really enjoyed him, because I didn't like him on American Idol, but then I saw the concert and I was like, was actually really, really good live. And the same thing, like I got to see Kelly Clarkson for free, basically, because I mean, it was just my annual pass. And both times I've seen her now, she is phenomenal. Like they do a great show in that venue there.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the whole lineup to come out. It should be usually it's like right around like the 7th or 8th of January whenever they
good.
post the
Coming up on it.
the list of everyone. Oh yeah, we're coming up very quick on it. But I mean, think about it. It's almost January at this point, and then it's only 2 months till Mardi Gras.
I don't even want to talk
Less
about
than
it.
2 months, a month and a half, and then Mardi Gras happens. I mean, it's crazy how time just flies by. But I'm very excited. We didn't really get to experience it as a team this past year.
This 2016. There you go.
2016, yeah, we'll get to hit it up, hit it hard, hit it strong.
Better, faster, stronger.
Organization might be my word for 2016 because I think that's what we need in order to make all these things happen.
We're good. We don't need calendars and stuff like that. But no, I'm also excited too to see if the concert series continues into it because the concert series started the 25th one. Maybe that's how Mardi Gras will be. It's the Mardi Gras / 25th anniversary concert series. Who knows?
No, somebody at Universal, not us.
You're just shutting that down? Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Shut it down. You're fine. But one thing we did do a lot of this year at Universal was we rode a lot of attractions, and we experienced a lot. Not all of them, of course, but a great deal. And that's how we formed our little stupid Universal Hall of Fame. But I think that was also one of the most fun aspects of everything we did.
What's in that Hall of Fame?
What's in that Hall of Fame? Well, of course, Transformers was the first one we put up. Did not get in. Jurassic Park River Adventure did get in.
Unanimously, I think.
Unanimously.
Unanimous.
Seuss Landing, the only thing that made it in there was Cat in the Hat. Okay. We really sold High in the Sky Seuss Trolley Train Ride well, but people just didn't bite on it.
It's a shame. I went on it the other day. When I was there, it was a 5-minute wait. Hopped on, and it just gives you such a great view of the park, but I also understand why it's not there. So
it is. Yeah.
I'm surprised the Cat in the Hat actually made it, but
no. And Twister did not make it in. Pete gave it the axe right at the last second when it was very, very close, which was sad. But have you seen the updates on Twister? I should have put in a picture for this. They are literally ripping this thing to shreds.
Yeah.
Like they're not wasting any time on it. It looks like a literal tornado went through and destroyed Twister.
So it might be even better now than it was before.
I don't know. Where were we? Oh, whenever Rhino and I were on our media event this past weekend, and we got to even see, because of how they were shuttling us around, we saw the back side of the building where the entrance would normally be to start walking into the soundstage. And as bad as the front of Twister looks right now, that backside is just, you wouldn't have known anything was there before. You would have thought it was just always this desolate wasteland of construction. It was bad.
Well, what we know from Universal is they never waste any time at all whatsoever. When they say they're going to do something, they do it, and they're quick about it.
Kind of, except for
Nintendo.
Well, no, because they never gave any timelines on that. I was going to say with one of the attractions that's coming up in 2016, Fast and Furious Supercharged, which the subway for Disaster is literally still sitting.
Yeah, we saw the cart like ready to go in.
So I don't think they've obviously started to do work because they put up walls, but for the most part, it looks like it's all untouched. Granted, they might be completely gutting the inside and doing all of that work first, but in terms of what's visible to us, it doesn't look like that much.
Okay.
But one other part, too, the next one that we put up was Lucy a Tribute, which did make it in, which, of course, is closed now to make way for the brand new interactive Hello Kitty store. And a sad update to this, which I know some people love it. I absolutely despise what they did, but on the construction wall, they decided to get a little creative with Universal movies and add Hello Kitty in them. So if you're watching, you'll see some pictures. If not, they're on the show notes. But yeah, they added Hello
kinda
Kitty.
cute.
Oh my gosh, I hate you so much.
I don't like Hello Kitty.
I hate
but
that there's
that's
two
cute.
ET ones.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's only 3 posters up, and 2 of them are ET.
We were
Ruining.
just like, Steven Spielberg, we're going to take a Hello Kitty-sized dump on your movie posters.
I'm not a Hello Kitty fan, but seeing Hello Kitty
Sorry.
swim above that shark makes it cute.
Yeah, it makes it cute because she ain't going to make it.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't make it.
That girl in that movie gets eaten.
I know, but Hello Kitty's
Spoiler.
obviously not in that movie. We don't know. We don't know if she'll make it.
Back to the Hall of Fame.
To the Hall of Fame, Disaster did make it into it, more because of Earthquake from what we were describing it as. Beetlejuice did not. Horror Makeup Show did. Back to the Future the Ride was a automatic
Posthumous.
shoe-in. It was a posthumous induction. Was that where I did say posthumous?
Yeah. No.
Or no, that was on the show with Pete. So
Yeah.
that would have been the Lucy. That would have been the
Tribute?
Lucy one. Yeah. So that was all the ones we covered. And that was, I mean, of course we did more. I think every time we went to the park, we essentially always got on ET as a group.
Because
Kind
it's
of
a
a weird
great
thing.
Love
way
you too.
to end. It's a great way to end the day in the park.
It is a great way to end a day
Leave
in the
on
park.
a high note.
No, and I mean that's a good way to describe a lot of what our year actually was in terms of Universal. And again, I'm so excited for everything coming next year, including Sapphire Falls, which will be opening up at the end. It's going to be very nice to run through, get another peek at a new hotel. I would have put this at the end of the year, but now that it's extended till January 5th, I can say I'm happy to see Beetlejuice go on January 5th forever. So, yay for 2016.
Something else that will be
Felicia.
going in 2016 is Wet and Wild.
Oh, yeah, Wet n Wild. I completely forgot. So,
Swapping it out.
it's so hard to remember about Wet n Wild because
You hate it.
I hate it.
And we'll
I
be
hate everything about it.
watching very closely to see how the story unfolds with those 474 acres that Universal has the option on Universal Boulevard.
I know. So hopefully details start coming out on that soon because I think we're all getting antsy. And the last, I think I said Fast and Furious is coming in 2016. That's coming 2017. But the big attraction coming this summer that I think Universal fans out there are
Can't wait.
just over the moon about will be Kong.
It's looking
Yeah.
real nice out there.
Yeah, and I just saw a post today. I believe someone said on the Orlando United forums that there's reports that the Kong animatronic has made its way into Universal now. So that's
He's been spotted.
Big stuff.
yeah, that's big. I mean, I would love to say like, oh, maybe they'll release a picture of it. Of course they won't. They're gonna wait until people get on that ride.
God,
and
that's
then
going to be a massive animatronic.
throw it in your face. It's got to be. It's got to be to be impressive at all. It just can't like show up and then it's the size of
A regular ape.
standing tall person. Like, hey, what's going on?
Look out for my arms.
Look out! I'm waving. But Kong Skull Island. I mean,
They added
Skull Island Reign of Kong is just
Is that what the attraction's called?
Skull Island Reign of
Okay,
Kong.
I was just going to say, when I was there the other day, I noticed that they had those posters up, and it says coming 2017, but I didn't know if they were referring to the attraction or the movie at that point, because the movie's called Skull Island.
Yeah.
So I know we talked that it wasn't really a direct tie-in to the movie, but now I'm wondering if they are going to try and push it in there a little bit further.
Who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, it's all up to what they decide. All I know is, with what we know right now, 2016 should be an even more exciting year than it was this year.
Yeah.
And, of course, we will be back to take you along every step of the way with it for as much as we can, for as much as you can be a part of. So, yeah, that was the year. Crazy year, but can't wait for the next one. So, do you guys have any condolences to give out before we go?
Condolences. Did somebody die?
I don't know.
Don't you want to talk about your cool cup you got there? You didn't want to show us that? Craig got the holiday cup.
Merry and bright
I'm
with
addicted
your
to cups.
Cabana
But he
Bay
hates the
refill
handle.
mug.
I hate the handle, but I'm addicted to cups.
The other cup's red, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. I need to do this for the screenshot.
Cups are universal.
How's my double chin in this?
It's good. No, the beard's hiding it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We can give our condolences to the tuna noodle casserole, which has since passed from the menu of Cabana
It doesn't
Bay.
matter to you because it just tastes like every tuna noodle casserole anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching us and putting up with us this year. It really was a good one. And again, I know I've just said it 3 or 4 times in a row, but we are so excited to be back next year. In the meantime, make sure you're following us on all of our forms of social media, Diz Universal, as well as Diz Unplugged, and the Diz, the whole thing that started it all. Make sure you're following us on every single one of those because there's always going to be exciting things to that. How do you get to those? Go to disunplug.com. That's where our show notes are. That's where you'll find any pertinent information that you need to know about this show or any of the other shows on the Diz Unplugged network, including the Disney World Edition, the Disneyland Edition, The Trip, Connecting with Walt, and a brand new Dreams Unlimited travel show that's coming out next year. Also, make sure you're subscribed to YouTube, and I'm going to say this strongly because don't just subscribe to our Diz YouTube, the one that's youtube.com/WDWinfo. That's got a lot of great videos too going on there, but make sure you're also subscribed to youtube.com/DizUnplugged because there's even more stuff going on there as well too. So please subscribe to them
Terrible
both.
interview I did with the Grinch.
Yes, including Rhino's first foray into on-camera personalities, which I'm going to embarrass him again, but go on and watch it because he says you see like 6 or 7 times in a row. You see? You see?
You see here?
You see? You see? I was just telling my friend about this, you see?
Old sport.
It's crazy. But you can watch that on there along with a lot of other videos. So please go ahead and subscribe to both channels if you don't yet. Subscribe to us on iTunes. And as always, please leave us feedback, whether it's reviews or comments. Thumbs up, thumbs down, do it all. Tell us what we need to do. And you can also email us too. Might have some email shows next year. They started getting a little thin there at the end. Guess people just don't want our advice anymore. Probably for the better. But thank you again. We will see you again next year with another episode of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition. But until then, remember, Harry, it's Universal.